Hey, I just wanted to share a little bit about general Ayurvedic lifestyle eating habits, which happen to be the basis for what I try to do when I'm cleansing. So I'm hope that I don't forget anything because there's definitely quite a few things if you're new to Ayurveda. So one thing is Ayurveda is huge about is not snacking between meals. It's very focused on having 2 to 4 meals a day, depending on your situation, depending on your health, depending on your emotions, right? So it's very much dependent on your unique uh, body and time of life and situation. I generally eat 2 to 3 meals. When I first started Ayurveda, I had a lot of anxiety, so I ate more like 3 to 4 meals. Okay, so not snacking is huge, which I also like to call water fasting, right? Instead of saying not doing something, water fasting. So, water fasting is great all the time in Ayurveda, and especially if you're cleansing. Not being distracted when you eat. So, eating mindfully, really taking serious that the food in front of you is going to become your body, that it has prana or chi or energy in it, and that when you bring it into the system, there's an exchange of energy there. So, not being distracted for that exchange of energy, such as listening to a podcast or watching TV, or even if you're emotionally feeling a little off, maybe don't eat right then. Maybe get yourself into a good emotional state before you eat that meal. Um, there's, you know, Ayurveda would suggest eating at the same time every day. So if you can eat 9 a.m., noon, and 5 p.m., that's great. Like that's an ideal schedule for a 3 meal a day kind of schedule. And then water fasting between that, drinking lemon water or lime water between meals, or any herbal tea is fine. It's just the sugar and salt, avoiding those because they spike your blood sugar and mess with digestion. So it's just easier for your system to fully digest a meal and be hungry and ready for the next one if there's no snacking and if you eat at the same times. Because in Ayurveda, your digestive fire is called Agni, and the fire, you can train the fire to show up at the same time when you're hungry. So this gets really cool. Not so much for cleansing, but let's say you do a cleanse or you're living Ayurvedically and you're eating at the same times, and then you randomly decide to have a piece of pizza or a hot dog, but you eat it at the same time you would normally eat lunch. Well, it won't be as hard on your body because you're going to be more resilient because Agni, your digestive capacity, your the bile, your body already knows to make more enzymes to digest that food at that time because you've trained it to show up at the same time. So you eat at the same times. That's just a huge pillar of Ayurveda eating. Another one is gifting your body 13 hours of no eating, a 13-hour fast every day. So that would be 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. or 5 p.m. to 6 a.m. I generally go by the guideline of not eating when it's dark out. As long as I'm eating when the sun is up, I know that my system is going to be happy and I can handle it better. I'll digest it better. The 13 hours is the minimum that your GI tract needs to cleanse. So if you don't give your digestive system a chance to reboot every night, it doesn't. So that can lead to issues in digestion. And then, of course, those issues can escalate to something else. Another huge thing with Ayurveda is the herb Triphala. So Triphala, most Ayurvedic people take Triphala every day, or at least when they're cleansing, but pretty often. Triphala is kind of gross the first time you have it. If your body's pretty acidic, it will taste kind of weird at first. It was weird for me when I first had it in 2013, I think. It was just like, ugh, what is this herb? And now my body actually really likes it and craves it. So triphala is nice to have a little bit in the evening with some tea, or a little bit in the morning, or right before bed. Some people do it right before bed. You can experiment with when, but getting a little bit of triphala, it really helps your digestive system. It helps your blood. I don't know what it is about triphala, but I can like feel it working in my body. It's pretty cool. So triphala is definitely one of the pillars of Ayurveda. And then especially if you're cleansing, but even if you're just shifting for an Ayurvedic diet, it's good to start doing some type of, you want to give your skin some awareness. Okay. So the skin's beautiful organ that's all over the skin suit, right? The whole body. The skin wants to be nourished. It wants to be awakened, and it's taking in a lot of senses and temperatures, right? So skin is a very important, it's a very large organ. And in Ayurveda you do oil massage, not lotion. So oil massage would be ideally organic, cold pressed, any oil, and unrefined, cold pressed, organic, pretty much any oil. Ayurveda suggests sesame as a go-to, especially in the fall because it's very grounding. Fall and the winter, sesame is great. But you could do coconut oil, almond oil, sunflower oil, I mean, and pretty much you can do any oil that you like. I liked experimenting it was a couple years. I just tried different oils in different seasons and kind of know what I like now. And it's mostly organic, non-toasted, unrefined, cold pressed sesame oil. So if you're like a little bit nervous about the oil, or you're not sure how to keep your clothes or your sheets nice, if you don't use too much oil. Anyways, there's a learning curve to that. So you can also do a cold shower. That'll really wake up your skin. You can also do dry brushing. So especially when you are cleansing or embracing an Ayurvedic lifestyle, it's a great time to do some dry brushing. Really wakes you up, or cold showers. So these are things that I've noticed that I'm kind of automatically doing now that I'm entering this cleanse. And I generally am doing these things when I'm not cleansing, but I'm giving myself more permission for self-care. So I noticed I burped earlier. Ayurveda says, right, the first burp means you're full. You don't need to eat anymore. And then I rubbed my tummy. What it is it's 25 times to the left. So going the direction of digestion, right? So going to the left, go around. Ooh, it feels so good. So it's 25. I think that was like 4 or 5 just now. And then you go for a walk. Ayurveda says 100 steps, which isn't really that much, but just enough. Did you see me? I burped. But just enough to get your digestive system kind of going. So it's like rest for a few minutes, 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes, and then walk for a few minutes. And that's ideal. So anyways, some things I've been noticing that I've been doing now that I'm like hyper focused on cleansing and Ayurveda and really sticking to all the things that I know, which, like I said, I do most of these things most of the time anyway, but the cleanse allows, when you are cleansing, allows you to hyper focus on your self-care. And so I've been doing all these little things, and I just wanted to share a little bit about Ayurvedic lifestyle and some of the basics I feel like that are nice if you are cleansing. So I hope this was helpful, and I love you, and I'll talk to you soon.